Our final Q&A for tonight is RuPaul Drag Race Season 13. Gottmik, put your hands together, please.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, you're too amazing. I was dying.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm literally obsessed.
I'm dying right now. I'm dying right now, out of breath right now.
Yeah. I literally was just like, like just scrolling your Instagram while you're performing. I'm like, icon, I'm living. Yes.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Yes.
So, how are you? First of all, how are you enjoying the ride?
I am living. It's so crazy because obviously we're still in a pandemic, so I really haven't been out and about. But I mean, online, it's been very fun and crazy, and I'm living.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I would like to know a little bit of your backstory. Can you just tell us how your journey began?
Yes. Well, I am from Scottsdale, Arizona. So
oh, cool. I've been there.
Yeah, it's cute.
Hot as heck.
Oh yeah, it's so hot. It's like an oven, like a literal oven. But I grew up in like Catholic school system, just very like sheltered, and I kind of knew I knew I was just trans like my whole life, but because I was in such like a sheltered environment, I never had like the language to put that together. And then when I moved out to LA, I just was so lucky to meet so many trans women that like taught me about like all the culture I needed to know and opened up my life and my eyes and my soul, and it just all clicked for me. And so yeah, I just transitioned the second I moved to LA and started taking drag really seriously, which helped me be able to grow as an artist and like personally as well, and saved my life. And then here I am with you.
That's amazing. So like I asked Venus Envy earlier, when you started to do drag, how did other drag queens, how were they accepting to you?
Yeah, I mean, when I started doing drag, I also out of drag, I'm a makeup artist. So I kind of also started doing makeup through the RuPaul scene because I was one of RuPaul's old makeup artists. I was like his assistant. So he would kind of show me like introduce me to other RuPaul girls and kind of like let me paint them and teach me how to do it. And so luckily I had such a strong kind of RuPaul's Drag Race base that they kind of like almost protected me. And even if I was like when I first started, I was a very questionable performer, let me tell you that. And I would like literally just go out there because I'm like an overconfident freak, and I would just be like, yes, living, like loves it. And even like full Violet Chachki, she'd be like, so I saw your performance, like while I was painting her. I'm like, yeah, interesting. But she did like, it was just still like so fun, and like we'd all protect each other. And I was really lucky to have such a strong support system through it all.
Oh, that's amazing. It's amazing. So with all that, what do you feel like your responsibility to your community is?
You know, it's so crazy because I always thought just seeing people like you, and I'm really, really close with Gigi Gorgeous, and just like any amazing trans women or men in the media that I was looking up to, I always just saw from kind of like a social media perspective where I was like, oh my God, they're speaking up so much and they're saying the perfect things and everything's perfect. And so like going into Drag Race, especially, I had this like spooky, I don't even know, like stress that I was like, I have to say the right thing. I have to look a certain way. My runways like need to show my scars a certain amount, and this has to happen. And then I kind of just realized that like being there for your community and being what I wanted to see for the community, all I needed to do was be myself. And that's all I had to do. So I think that is something I just really want to get across all the time. It's like, you don't have to stress and worry about saying the perfect thing and like reaching the right people. It's just like, you are all that people want to see is you. And that's why people are going to connect with you.
Okay. So I'm going to outside of
connect with you.
Okay. So I'm going to outside of the entertainment and outside of the drag, what would you, that little boy that's trapped in the wrong body right now, that maybe looking at you on the television, maybe look at this interview right now, what steps would you tell that individual to take in their transition?
I would definitely tell him to make sure you find amazing people around you that support you no matter what, and just make sure you have the best chosen family of life. And
Yeah.
I know that something that's like stopped me from transitioning for so long is that I have this feminine side that I love. I found a way to express it through drag, but at the time when I didn't know how to do that, I was like, oh, like maybe like look at all these trans guys in the media, like that's not me. I'm not the most buff masculine man I've ever seen, so maybe I'm not trans, like maybe that's not me. And so I would definitely just say, like, whatever you're feeling, like it is valid just because you do not see it in the media,
Yeah.
and you just need to pave your own way no matter what, because you need to do what makes you happy. You have one life and there's no time to worry about what anyone else thinks.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with you, and I identify with what you're saying because, as a trans woman, I feel like there's so much pressure put on us to be the ultimate feminine image. We're supposed to be so feminine. We're supposed to like look like this Barbie doll all the time. And the thing I try to tell people is just like there are different cisgender women, there are different trans women, there are different trans men. All of us are not going to be the same. You cannot put us in a box. You may have a trans woman that may not like to wear high heels. She may like to wear sneakers and sweatpants, but that does not make her any less of a woman. So yeah, I really appreciate you shining the light on us that we can do whatever it is we want to do.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy. And people are
yeah,
like, like, and people just give me any hate and stuff. They're like, well, I don't really get it because, like, you don't see trans women being drag kings. So, like, why? And I'm like, girl, they're probably out there.
well,
Just like,
tell them to go stroll on my Instagram and you'll see it.
hello, yes, bitch.
I do
No,
it. I do it once.
exactly.
Yeah, I do it once a year. I have a turnabout show that I do once a year here in Orlando. And I created it because, or I took over and made it my own because I know that there are people that go out to the clubs that want to do what we do, but they're afraid of what their friends are going to say. They're afraid of what their boyfriend is going to say or their girlfriend. They're afraid of what someone is going to say. And so the turnabout show is when the girls become boys and the boys become girls and whoever wants to become whatever they want to become that night. It gives everyone an excuse, but most importantly, it gives everyone a reason to be able to do something that they've always wanted to do and really see if it's for them. And a lot of stars are born that night. A lot of people are born that night. It's like that's a night where I don't have to worry about everyone judging me. And so on that night, I dress as a guy on that night. And I think I do a pretty good job, if I may say so.
Oh my gosh, bitch. You have no idea. I am the only Giselle stan of life. I heard of you before and I was obviously thought you were the most gorgeous, but after this, I'm like, I am obsessed with you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
It's
So yeah, so I created that so that we could give that platform to people that want to do what we do and want to live in their truth like we do. And it's just refreshing. Even when I saw just the pictures of you advertised for the show, I won't even say that, I'll just say the show. I said, that's your winner. Oh just like that. And I'll just leave it at that. But okay, so let's go to some other questions. Let's see.
Hi Giselle, I actually have something from Facebook that a few people commented on. So this is also for Gottmik. Yeah. Okay, I have one question from Claire Hartman asking how you remain confident.
I mean, I feel like I genuinely have this kind of like, I don't even want to say psychotic, but there is something in me that I can convince myself, like, even if I'm so scared of public speaking, like I was always the president of my school and stuff, and I would be so scared to talk, but I would just convince myself, I'd be like, no, you're not. And it was like an almost like inner, like fighting my own inner saboteur. And I would convince myself I'm not. And then through time, I just kind of learned to overcome it and battle it. And because that inner saboteur is there for everyone, you see it or not. And then you can kind of learn to like love those little butterflies that you're scared or nervous, and you kind of can almost hone it into more powerful energy with time. And I think being more comfortable with yourself and having amazing people around you that are showing you every day that you are amazing and powerful just really helps as well. So make sure you have amazing people around you that understand that you're just as amazing and powerful as you know you are.
Thank you. I also have another one. This name I'm not going to say just in case I don't want to out someone. But this person, they're asking what advice you have for someone who's experiencing gender dysphoria or dysmorphia.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have learned through being on Drag Race that, I mean, for a long time, because I do have such an amazing chosen family around me, that I hadn't experienced a lot of dysphoria for so long. And then I got on the show and just being with all these cis men drag queens. And then if you guys haven't seen the show, there was like this one episode where I like had to go on stage and I sang about being like assigned female at birth, and I hadn't talked to anyone about it yet. So I was like, oh my God. And at the time I was just like, oh, in my brain, I was just hoping I could come out first and like talk about it. And it kind of just like triggered me, and I literally had that dysphoric feeling. And I think it's just something that, you know, it may not go away, but you just kind of have to acknowledge that it is part of a lot of trans people's journeys, and you have to find like something kind of like anxiety, like something to focus on to kind of pull you back out of it. That I know me, it's like I just need to like look in the mirror and be like, girl, you are fierce, like you're the only little man of life, like whatever you need to say that's stupid in the mirror or whatever it is, just pull you back, whether it's call your friend. Like it's almost like an anchor that brings me back, just being like, that was weird, girl, get back into it and like focus again. So but yeah, it's completely normal and crazy, and I was really, really so happy that they allowed me to talk about dysphoria on the show, because it's something that's such a big part of so many of our lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I hope y'all are hearing this. This is great.
It is.
I'll do one last Facebook question before I hand it back over to you. Cool. Another question was, how do you create your looks? They also added, I love you so much and you always look so iconic.
Ah, thanks. Oh my God. I actually like have a few of my looks that I wanted to talk about, which I feel like I went to fashion school because I wanted to be a designer originally. And now I have just realized that if I have a cute idea and then I work with someone whose whole lives is being a designer, which mine is not right now, so it like makes my idea 10 times better. So like this outfit I'm wearing now, it was my fascinator look, and we just got this really cute jacket and we ripped it up, and then I wanted safety pins, and then my best friend Nat Sketty, who just started transitioning as well, he's married to Gigi Gorgeous, it's such the cutest friendship of my life, and he was like, oh my God, what if we did the safety pins like this way instead of just like fucked up and crazy like I was thinking. And then literally like the night before the runway, I took all this outside and like pinned these things and just like spray painted this whole jacket and just made it crazy like in the parking lot in the dark of Drag Race. And it's just like I always like to have someone else's touch with my idea, and then something else that like finalize it physically for me and my touch as well.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. I love fashion. I could do it all day.
That's sickening. So what do you feel your responsibility is to your community?
I feel like like I was saying before, I just felt so, I remember just being so almost stressed out, making sure that I was just like the perfect role model and being that person that I didn't have for myself in the media, this like femme trans guy, or just like, you know, just this anywhere on the spectrum AFAB person being on this show. And I was so like nervous to say the wrong thing, and then going on that show and just releasing like any inner saboteur I had and just letting go and realizing that all it takes is just to be myself. Like I think my goal for the future and for me being visible on this platform is just to continue being myself and continue being like a really nice, amazing person to everyone around me, and uplift all the other trans voices in my life, especially Black trans women and everyone in my life that has led me on this journey. And I just want to keep pushing it and being as loud as possible so we can keep opening these doors that are slowly but surely opening.
Okay, great. So one last question.
Oh no.
Oh wait. No, the timing of that. I love that.
I know, same.
Let's give it a second to see if Giselle comes back.
Oh, she'll be back.
Thank you to everyone who's, by the way, I'm on the Facebook too. Thank you to everyone who's on the Facebook asking questions. Also, thank you, Gottmik, for sharing your fashion with us and your input, your insight. I guess while we're waiting for Giselle and we take another few moments, is there anything else about your fashion that you'd like to share with us, or any kind of accessories?
Yeah, I mean, I like I was saying, I kind of like love to touch on other people's things. I kind of have like, let's see, I brought like a few of my shows. Like these were my shoes for my crash test dummy too, and I got them and they were like just yellow. And so I just took electrical tape in my hotel room and I was like, I need electrical tape, Gorge. And I just like started cutting it up and wrapping it around this and like lining it and doing things on the bodysuit. And it turned out way cuter than the original. And then my designers ended up remaking all those little touches for Meg Thee Stallion and her video, and hers came out first. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But you know, it's just like, I think the key to my fashion, especially like if you take these headpieces and stuff that I wear all the time, like this is for my LeMay runway, and it's just like a designer made this like cap, and then we got like one applique that we can just stick on, and then like these little appliques, and we just like went down and stoned every little thing. So it's just like, you know, it's easy little appliques and then going in and adding your own touches and your own thing that makes it you and signature. And I always see people online that are like kind of the same a vibe from Gottmik doing this. I'm like, no, Gorge, it's completely different, but I'm quite good at branding and giving my own touch. So you just see it in every look, bitch.
I love that. Well, okay, so I think we'll do this as a final question, and then I guess I'll go to you if you want to add anything else. But as someone who is not, I guess, aware of how long it takes to put these outfits together, how much time do you spend on your outfits from piece to piece?
I mean, luckily I have amazing designers that help me get the base and stuff. But if I would love like a solid couple weeks to get something really major done. Like I have this really cute video coming out, and I actually have to fly to New York tomorrow just for a fitting. So I think it's like, if you really want it to be major, you have to understand that there is a commitment that comes behind it if you're not doing it 100% yourself. But I've gotten to be a very fast rhinestoner though. That is something I might be an icon at. If we want to pick one thing, I'm like, I can go for days, and it's going to be a Gorge gradient. I'm going to be like,
I mean, from hearing how you're like, oh yeah, I just did this the night before the performance, I put this all together before it'd be on TV. It sounds like you have to go fast.
You gotta go fast. I mean, we don't have time. That's why with makeup too, it's like, I mean, you have to learn some steps that you can cut out, because you don't always have 3 hours, girl.
I love that. Thank you. We're about at time. I guess before we wrap up, sadly, Giselle's not back yet. So I want to say a big thank you to Giselle and for Giselle as well for being here and hosting this. And Gottmik, is there anything else you want to say or share before we wrap up? I guess to the UCF students that are currently watching.
Oh my gosh. I just want to thank you guys so much for having me. It was so fun. This show is literally so amazing. You guys highlighted so many amazing entertainers that I've been a fan of for so long. So I've loved seeing every type of drag performer on here. It was so diverse and brilliant. So you guys are witnessing a really amazing show at a really amazing school. So keep it up, and I can't wait to see you guys kill it in the future.